Hi, I'm Paul Silovsky, physical therapist and owner of Rebound Physical Therapy. And today I want to talk to you about safe lifting mechanics to protect your back. Listen, low back pain is probably the number one thing we see as physical therapists, not only here at Rebound, but I think across the nation. Most outpatient orthopedic clinics, you're going to see a lot of back and neck pain. So prevention is key. So I want to go over some of the structures that we see getting involved because of faulty lift mechanics. Now, my friend Bones here doesn't have much of a muscular structure, so I'll just have to describe some of the key basics here. But the things that get injured, people talk about a herniated disc. So you've got this disc down here between the vertebrae. That's a cushion. Okay, those can degenerate over time or get broken down. They can certainly get injured or pressured out. The gel substance in the center of the disc can get pushed out and encroach upon or put pressure on any one of these nerve roots that go down in the legs for the low back. Same thing happens up in the neck, but we're talking about low back today. So you've got the discs, we've got the joints themselves that can degenerate, and then all the muscular structures that attach from the spine into the pelvis, and from the pelvis down into the lower body, and from the pelvis actually up into even the shoulder blades. So it's all interconnected. It's a big movement system that's very dynamic, and there's a lot of things that can happen if you have a reduction in strength, postural alignment, even balance. And certainly flexibility, like I mentioned before, because the hips have to move freely. The hips are a big part of safe lifting mechanics. So let's jump into this for a second. I want to show you real quickly some key basics in lifting. Now, I'm going to emphasize one thing, and that is stance. So most people will try and lift in a square stance. I can tell you, you always automatically put yourself at risk if you only go square. My recommendation would be, if you can, okay, it's not in every situation, because if this was for example, this was a big box, a wider box, and I could not stagger my stance to lift this 25-pound weight, I would just have to do what I'm going to show you here in a moment in a little different way. But the ideal situation is to have a staggered stance, get the object that you're going to lift as close to your center of gravity, right around my belly button here, as you can. Now it's lower than my center of gravity, so I'm going to have to drop my hips, right? But I'm going to move through my hips. I don't have to have a completely erect, straight spine, like straight up and down. You can have a little bit of a curve in your low back. You drop down, and I'm in a balanced position here, head up, and I'm predominantly lifting with my hips. But you also see this staggered stance that I talked about. Why a staggered stance? Because now I'm balanced right to left and front to back. If I go square and I'm trying to lift out, this is not good, by the way. I already feel it on my back. It actually doesn't feel good on my 61-year-old back. The closer I've got it. But guess what? If I happen to lose my balance and this goes out, I'm going to strain my back. So if I have a staggered stance, guess what? I balance this way and I balance that way. So that's a couple key tips just on stance and getting the object as close to your body as you can get it. And the last thing I'm going to show you is a mistake that I see when people can't get to an object easy, like in the trunk of your car, for example, or just reaching for something, right? So the same rules hold true. Okay, what I don't want to see you doing is totally just reaching over and flexing your spine and trying to pull this thing back, okay? Ideal situation is I can get up here, like even if I was just the trunk of my car, if I could get up over it and shift it back towards me. If you can't do that, I'd even recommend using that staggered stance and just shift my weight back. My spine doesn't do a lot here. I'm shifting my body weight as opposed to just pulling, with my spine. So this is a really simple thing. It's just like I said, even when I'm pushing it, it's a simple weight shift, shifting my body back, or getting up over it, getting closer to my body, and then getting that athletic stance and lifting. And when I lift and carry, I'm here. I don't twist my spine. I move with my hips. I can keep this thing close to me, and it's a lot easier to move and lift. Same thing, setting it down, staggered stance, drop it down. There's some simple tips for you. Listen, not everybody can write this check, meaning don't ask your body to write a check you can't cash. If you need help, get help from a physical therapist. We can help you with proper movement mechanics, make sure you have the flexibility and the strength to do the things you want to do, and we'll show you the ranges that you can safely do it in. That's what we do. We want to keep you from herniating discs, straining muscles, degenerating your spine. That's what we do. Let me see you back in action. Give us a call. We'd love to help.